Welcome, my dear friends, to our universe, to the first ever video of Sadishkan's gaming news show, in which I try to revive the format that I used for my Fallout 4 coverage from almost a year ago to a wider perspective and audience. Hopefully you are almost as excited as I am about this little experiment, and without further ado, let's jump into the juicy news of the recent days. And talking about juicy news, the first story today that we are going to talk about is about the game Breeding Season. And if you haven't heard about the game, don't worry, I hadn't either, but it's a, quote, Harvest Moon meets hentai sex game that was getting backed with more than $40k US per month on Patreon to be completed, and it has now been scrapped. Once again, shedding light on some of the hazards of using your money to back up a promise of a future product. While I personally would never use my money to do so, I still understand why it exists, and I support the model. Because without Kickstarter, Patreon, and other platforms used to support potential projects, especially for potential games like Breeding Season with an adult theme, that would most likely would never even be a conceivable idea to meet a finished products, as many big publishers and established backers do not want to support adult content. I still think that the existence of said platforms is awesomely great. Even in the day and age we live now, which is quite frank a bit sad and stupid that big publishers and stuff like that don't want to support this kind of content. Give me hentai games, god damn it! No, but seriously, this is 2016. Remove the chastity belt already. A Breeding Season blog post, which can be found in the description if you want to check it out for yourself, written by the project creator Harista Pipebomb, says one of the artists of the game, who also goes by the name S Purple, was given an incredibly generous contract when he began working on the game that granted him, among other things, full rights to the artwork he created for it. This contract made him able to take all the artwork he created for the game, as well as a big chunk of the meat scepter they had created for the game, also known as about half the money they had generated for the production of the game, which he did, rendering the project almost impossible to finish off in the eyes of the project creator Harista Pipebomb. And even though Harista Pipebomb puts all the blame on the game's artist known as S Purple for this to have happened, S Purple himself says that H-Bomb was the one to blame for all of this, since he basically did not like the way he managed the project. But to put even more salt in the wounds of H-Bomb, S Purple then went and published his latest project called Cloud Meadow, where he basically reuses the art that he created for Breeding Season, which probably renders S Purple as the biggest dick however you look at it, and whatever transpired between the two in the past. Not only did he screw H-Bomb over, but he took all the assets and the money to then make a new project that is very similar to their project, leaving H-Bomb as the receiver and S Purple as the giver, trying to use terms to describe how he literally screwed H-Bomb in the buttocks. H-Bomb has since then doxed S Purple by giving people his real name, and continues to say that this is not over and he wants to keep fighting this. Whatever dispute they had in the past, this just seems like two sides of the same asshole coin trying to flip itself over to screw the other. We'll just have to see who lands on top in the end. And to go from very much NSFW to very much SFV, actor and former NFL star Terry Crews gets back into the game. Literally, after really enjoying his time at the big first gameplay stream of Battlefield 1 with many other celebrities such as Snoop Dogg and Zac Efron, as well as many other big YouTubers associated with the Battlefield franchise. He even makes a shout out to Ponyline HD, who I've been subbed to for years, for helping him making this experience as cool as he obviously perceived it. He does this by showing us a Facebook video with all the parts that he bought, unsponsored by the way, to build himself a monster PC to game on together with his son. I think this is so cool. Is Terry Crews getting into YouTube gaming or streaming in the future as well, maybe? I think this will be hard competition for us, but hey, at this point I would not be surprised, and I think it just hints to a future where even more movie, music and sports celebrities might do the same and take the step onto YouTube, Twitch or similar platforms, as gaming and gaming video seems to be even more mainstream than ever, thanks to a lot of different reasons like cool projects and PewDiePie and whatever. Today it's a very big part of the developed world's daily life, and most likely will continue to grow in all kinds of forms, which is really cool. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen with that. To be honest. And why do I even have more support for that claim I just made, though? Well, even the presidential candidate Hillary effing Clinton's team want to use one of the biggest gaming success stories in recent history, Pokemon Go, to generate a gathering that is and or was held at July 16 at the Pokestop in Lakewood, Ohio, Madison Park. The organizers will buy a lure item to attract Pokemon to the area for the duration of the hour-long event. Pokemon Go hit in the news over and over with weird stories and with people doing stupid shit while playing Pokemon Go, as well as it having masses of people gathering in multiple areas all over the world with literally millions of people playing it, as it apparently catch the interest of people of all ages and professions. Just imagine all the situations happening all over the world with little Timmy, 8 years of age, sneaking out of his house in the middle of the night, going to dark alleys thinking, "Oh boy, I can finally do this in real life," as he gets mugged and beaten up, to the adults who grew up in the 90s crashing their cars because they're playing Pokemon Go while driving because of the urge that I have to catch them all. I have been brainwashed, and that this is the biggest truth of the century ever since my childhood, so I must do this even to the extent of my own and others' security and well-being, because if I don't, I won't have my effing Pikachu. God fucking damn it. Just amuses me so much. I would not be surprised if we'll have weekly updates on all kinds of news outlets for a long period of people doing really stupid shit while playing Pokemon Go. Personally, I can't wait, because that, even though immensely sad, is even so immensely hilarious, in my opinion. And to the end of this video, as a tribute to my old Fallout content subscribers, a huge Fallout 2 mod called Fallout 1.5 Resurrection is now available to play. This mod, or I would even classify it as a almost standalone game, will be inspired by the original 2 games and will be set in the timeline between Fallout 1 and 2, packed with multiple outcomes and interesting characters. Since the cancellation of my Fallout 4 mod show, I have sort of fallen out of love with the modding community, but this kind of ambitious stuff just makes me want to go back and experience more and more mods, because this is so cool that these kinds of community created projects or personally created projects actually happen every once in a while. Do you want to know more about Fallout 1.5 Resurrection and everything I've talked about in this video? Then hit the description for all the sources and links. Also, if you want to contribute to this show and make me focus on interesting gaming related news, then hit me up on my business email in my About page here on YouTube and send me an email if that story makes it, and if I have not found it by myself before you actually give me the tip about it, I will of course credit you for it. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for all kinds of gaming related content that will happen on this channel in the future, and until next time, bye.